Yeah, sort us out, mate. Even a billion. Just a billion, mate.
Just a bill. Even just a million, you know.
Yeah.
Work with your wife.
Hey, 20 quid's a lot to a boy from Swansea. Come on, share the wealth.
The next book that they're going to be turning into a movie is called Best Enemies, Race and Redemption in the South, which is by O'Shea Gray Davison. I should also have said that A Discovery of Witches is by Deborah Harkness.
Harkness, yeah. And they turn these into films.
They'll turn in The Discovery of Witches into a TV series, which is on Amazon.
Yeah.
They're turning this movie, which is also on Amazon.
You are, Jeff. We are plug-in, mate. We are plug-in for you, bro.
But this one will be kind of interesting because it's based on a true story from 1971, which tells the story of Tidra P. Henderson and Sam Rockwell, which stars as... these are people. Oh, no, I know who that is. That's the lady from this lady here, Tidra J. Henderson.
Oh,
Sam Rockwell. That's the stars of the film. But they star in this. It's based on a civil rights activist and local Ku Klux Klan leader who form an unexpected bond in this adaptation. Oh, that's interesting.
have you seen The Black Klansman?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, man, have you seen it?
It looks funny as hell from the trailer.
It's such a good film. It's based on a true story as well.
Yeah.
It's an absolute brilliant.
Similar to this, yeah. Yeah, Spike Lee made it.
He's brilliant, man. I think that I watched it a couple of months ago. I need to watch it again, but it's a great film.
Catch-22. Catch-22 is a book by Joseph Heller, and it's also going to be a TV series on Amazon. So it's not going to be on Amazon, but it's available to buy on Amazon. It says.
I'm sure you've planned this. That you're going to send this directly to Jeff. Sorry about the divorce, mate, but listen to this. We have plugged you silly.
Yeah. Buy all your stuff from Amazon, guys. Subliminal messaging. The next book is called The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, which is about the power of love and fate that are tested when a pragmatic Natasha falls for a hopeless romantic Daniel on what is supposed to be her last day in America. Sounds interesting. It has... It stars someone from... I don't know who that... I know who... I think that might be... I'm going to have to look...
Yara...
Shadiha, but I don't know who that is by the name. I need to see the picture. I think I know who it is. But she's from Blackish, and it's probably the main character from Blackish and Grown Up-ish. Have you seen Blackish?
Yeah. No.
This girl?
I know who she is.
She's in Blackish, and she's also in her own spin-off series, which is called, I think, Grown Up-ish, where basically she goes to university.
Is that the same? Yeah, is that the same girl, Sam from?
From. Oh no!
Dear White People.
No, it's different, but it's funny though because Grown Up-ish is kind of very similar to Dear White People, but then it's different. But it's kind of it's more like Blackish, but maybe
similar,
so
but
vague.
different.
Similar in the sense that it's like mainly black people or ethnic people kind of in a university. It follows mainly ethnic people in a university, and it's kind of follows the kind of the real life things that happen in university. But it's kind of a thing where I think it's set in a night school or something.
Okay.
Where at university she needs to take another course, and she takes the course, and the course she decides to take is some random course, but she ends up meeting the best friends of her life, which is what you meet at university. And she ends up, at the beginning they're not friends, and it's just kind of like the ins and outs of how the relationships and who likes who, and kind of it's, for me when I was watching it, it's kind of reminiscence of university. It's kind of like, this is kind of what it's like, you know, going to university, meeting people for the first time, kind of bouncing off them, kind of being fully involved in someone else's life that you've never actually met before, but you're kind of know that you have to kind of get to know them because you're going to be living with them for 3 years.
Yeah.
So you might as well, or they're going to be on your course for 3 years, so you might as well get to know them, because if you need help on the course, these are the people that you need to go to. So,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a really good show, Grown Up-ish.
I'll check it out.
Oh, Grownish it's called. Grownish.
Can you stream it on Amazon?
No, I don't believe so. I believe that is on Netflix.
Alright, check it out. Okay.
New plug.
Yeah, new plug.
Another book which is turning into a movie is called The Kitchen. It's by Ollie Masters, Ming Doyle, and Jodie Belair. Oh, what a last name!
Amazing, man. Amazing, man.
And it's based on Vertigo, the comic book series.
I love comic books. I'm a big
So
comic book
The
fan.
Kitchen is set in the 1970s, and it's based on so a mobster's wife. Wait, hang on. After a mobster's husband. Okay, that's what I was saying. It's based on a mobster. I was trying to reverse the whole sentence. So after a mobster's husband is imprisoned, a trio of housewives take over the family business, becoming key players in the New York City gangster scene. So that sounds fucking interesting.
Feminist.
I know, right? It's called
Mad.
And it's called The Kitchen. So that's going to be a movie coming out in September.
I'll check that out.
Do you know when Votes for Women first became a thing, right? You know, what's her name? Emily Pankhurst, yeah. So, like, she basically used the Second World War to show that as well. Because obviously until then, like, they'd been applying for women to get the vote from the 1850s all the way up until the First World War broke out. And she basically gave this ultimatum. She's like, well, I can rally the women that we will do these jobs that the men used to fill in, but we're going to get the vote afterwards.
Yeah,
like, she's basically like, we're going to, and you understand that if we don't, like, we will fuck shit up.
Yeah. There's a great play actually about that called by Jessica Swale, and it's called Blue Stockings.
Okay.
And it's all about, I believe, I did it a couple of years ago, but I can't really remember all of it. But it's about the first women at, I believe it's Cambridge or Oxford. It was one of those schools. And how they were sort of treated, and they were made to wear blue stockings if they were like they're in class or whatever, so people could identify them.
Of what as being women.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Just in case.
Just in case the bonnet didn't give it away. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was mad. It's a great play though. I did it a couple of years ago, and we actually had a letter from the writer Jessica Swale to say like good luck to the production.
Oh,
That was really
that's
sweet.
wicked.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
I'm only going to do like a few more that I'm just going to skip.
Well, what are the highlights?
The highlights, I'll just say the names, yeah? So there's Where Did You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple.
So wait, these are all books that are becoming
This
movies.
is a book that's becoming a movie, yeah?
How many books are there?
There's 14 on the list,
14.
but I think we've gone through a few.
So yeah, in a way, I'm not sure whether I'm for or against this, because like, obviously it's good that literature is becoming more publicised, but at the same time I kind of feel like maybe the movie industry is running out of stuff. They're like, just do books. Just get the books out.
No, but
But like the movie's never going to quite live up to the expectations.
But it's a funny
of it.
thing you're saying that, because a lot of new movies that are coming out nowadays, they're not new movies, they're just remakes.
Yeah.
What's the one with Lady Gaga and
The Star Is Born.
A Star Is Born?
Yeah.
That's like the fourth revamp of that film.
Is it? I
Yeah.
should know.
Like
I know there's a new Mary Poppins.
Like there's a new Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
There's a new Sherlock Holmes with Owen. Who is it? Will Ferrell's in it.
Oh yeah, I think that's like a parody.
This is what I mean though. I feel like everything is becoming a parody of itself.
Yeah.
It's like even shit like that Tesco's advert, you know, the one they have on the side of all their delivery vans, it's like freshly clicked.
Yeah.
Like ha ha ha. Like when online shopping first became a thing, everyone was kind of against that. They're like, well, we don't know how long it's been sitting there, we don't know if it's fresh, blah blah.
Yeah.
And we've come so far through that we're on the other side, that they can actually
Laughing.
make a marketing campaign and go, oh, it's clicked, not picked. And like we don't even care anymore. We're not even like, well, how fresh is it? We're just like, oh, it's coming to my door, you know?
Yeah.
Like everything is a parody of what it once
true.
was.
I completely agree.
We have no original. It feels like they're trying. There's no original ideas for them to make anything new into movies or TV
so just like,
shows.
Let's just put Will Ferrell in everything.
Put Kevin Hart in there too, you know.
Kevin Hart
and who else? Dwayne the Rock Johnson. We got a banger there.
We don't know what to do. Bring in the Rock.
Yeah.
Dwayne, get in here. We need. But there's only like 7 plot lines. Do you know this? There's a book. I can't remember the name of it. I have to research better before I come on the show. But there's only like 7 stories essentially in the world.
Yeah.
And every story,
boy meets girl, that kind of
essentially, and there's like rags to riches, which is a theme. There's that's one theme I grabbed at the top of my head. But you can Google it, and basically there's these plot lines, and every story there ever is follows one of these plot lines, or like combines 2 of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing is new under the sun.
That's crazy.
That is an interesting thing.
But
it's like the word. I've got this book called The Etymologicon, which is about where words come from and what their roots are.
That sounds fascinating.
Yeah, you can borrow it if you want.
Yeah, please. How big is it? I mean, that is massive.
Not massive. Because basically, the guy who wrote it just loved words, and like the preface is one of my favourite bits of the book, where he's just talking about like this guy once asked me why a biscuit was called a biscuit, and he explains why. And then like the guy just like he just goes in, and the guy's like, I don't actually care. He's like, it was too late. I was down the rabbit hole. Like the man ends up escaping through a window, and my family sit me down. And where social work gives off, the publishing industry tends to pick up. So it's written a book instead of getting a care worker. But where was I going with this? Etymology. What word was I going to give? What were we talking about before? Shit.
I said there's nothing new under the sun, and then you said, I've got...
Oh, yeah, that was it. So, the word for romance, right? Like romance literature and romance in general, like candlelit dinners on a blanket under the moon, that kind of romance. That actually came because when the Greeks, when the Roman Empire was expanding, they were bringing in lots of new countries, and not everyone actually learned the official language that would be spoken by the Romans, that would be written down in books. So they kind of spoke this kind of like street Roman, which is, it still happens now. Like they're in some of their countries where not everyone can read and write and not everyone speaks the proper language. So how English developed in a way. And so people started, so that was Romanic, was this sort of like kind of sub-cult language from actual Roman. And these people started writing books that largely featured those themes about knights and dragons and candlelit dinners and stuff like this. And that is where our idea of romance comes from. So the romance actually comes from the word Romanic, which was a language, and there was books that were written in those languages that later got picked up, and that got understood as romance. So even the idea of romance, that this thing that where I love you, dearest, and we should propose, and we should have a candlelit dinner on a picnic, and all those kind of cliche ideas of romance, they actually just come from books, but like beyond our recognition of when literature started.
That's amazing, and that's in this book.
Yeah, that's in that book.
You get it on Amazon.
Probably.
Jeff will give it to you free at this rate. But like, there's another one in it which is that there's this old German language has a word that meant burnt, right? And so people took that in different ways. Some people took that to mean burnt, as in burnt out coals, like black. That's the colour. And other people took it to mean burning, like burning hot white embers. And you can see that in English we took the word black. In Spanish and French it's blanco, but that black and blanco have the same etymological roots. It was just different interpretations of the word burnt from that German language. Like, how jokes is that?
That's pretty cool.
Like we managed to get 2 opposite things from the same word. Kind of shows you how complex humanity's thought process can be. It just takes one sort of push in one direction and it leads you off down a whole other rabbit hole.
Much like your segues.
And next segue is I'm gonna give you a little interview, Brandon. You're a creative person, and more people should hear more about you.
Sweet.
So when we were talking before, you were saying that you were working on a one-man show that's kind of to do with mental health. You were saying? Yeah. So in Guildhall, in your 3rd and final year, you get to the option of either a research portfolio or you can do a solo show, which you write, direct, and star in yourself. And I came to it with about 9 ideas. like anyone does, I was like, fuck. I wrote like loads of sort of spoken word. I wrote loads of slam poems, which I've never done before. But I just decided, this is the time. This is me now.
And I had these so many ideas, and I whittled them down. And I worked with one of my lecturers, Elliot, who is an absolute genius of a man. And he said, well, just sort of pick the 3 that really speak to you, and then write 7 minutes on this one. Don't even look at it when you're done. 7 minutes on this, 7 minutes, and take bits from each one.
Yeah.
And the ideas I sort of boiled down to, I knew there was going to be 3 pillars I wanted to feature in the piece, and one was mental health and male suicide, because that is the biggest killer of men under 45, and that needs to be spoken about. That's something very important and quite close to my heart, So that was pillar 1. Pillar 2 was about male suicide. I'm really struggling now.